Hi guys, this is Jay. Welcome to another video of Trade Story. Today we will discuss about outside pivots and perfect pivots. There is actually not a very big difference about this thing. Both are pivots, but sometimes we ignore them as pivots, and so this is the main reason why I have made this video. See outside pivots and perfect pivots. Let's see what this is. See, this is a perfect pivot here. If we closely observe, this is the main middle candle of the pivot. This is the pivot point and this is the main middle candle of the pivot. The high of this pivot is higher than the high of the first and the third candle. Okay, the second candle or the main middle pivot candle high is higher than the high of first and the third candle. And look at the lows of this candle. The low of the main middle pivot candle is higher than the low of first and the third candle. When this all or both these conditions are formed, this is when we say that it's a perfect pivot. Main thing to observe here is the highs of the first and the third candle should never be above the high of the middle or the main pivot candle, and the lows of both these candles, that is the first and the third candle, should be below the low of the middle pivot candle. We'll just repeat this again. The high of the main middle pivot candle should be above the high of the first and the third candle, and the low of both the first and the third candle should always be below the low of the main middle candle. In these conditions, we can say a perfect pivot has formed. Perfect pivot high has formed. Okay, now we will see a perfect pivot low. How does this form? The low of the main middle candle of the pivot is lower than the first and the third candle. The low of the main middle candle is lower than the low of the first and the third candle. And what about the highs of the candle? The high of the main middle pivot candle is lesser, or it is always the highs of the first and the third pivot candle is always higher than the high of the main middle candle. Okay, we will just concentrate on the lowest and the highest part. Okay, so that there is no confusion in this. We will go again. In case of pivot high, when a perfect pivot high is formed, the high of the main middle candle is always higher than the first and the third candle, and the lows of these candles, that is the first and the third candle, are always lower than the main middle candle. In case of pivot lows, the low of the main middle candle is always lower than the first and the third candle, whereas the highs of both the first and the third candles are always higher than the main middle candle. So this is when the perfect pivot is formed. Now we will see how an outside pivot is formed. See here, there is an outside pivot formed. In the case of an outside pivot, the low of the main middle candle is the lowest, but here an inside candle is formed. The small green candle is an inside candle, and this candle's high has not crossed above this main middle candle. So a perfect pivot is not formed here because the high of the third candle has not crossed above the high of the main middle candle. So this is not a perfect pivot low. This is an inside candle, and an outside pivot candle has engulfed totally this inner candle. So hence an outside pivot is formed here. The first candle, the second main middle candle, the third candle is inside the main middle candle, and now the fourth candle's high is above the high. Okay, here in this case, the high of the fourth candle has also not crossed above the high of the main middle candle. Fifth candle, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. The fifth candle high has crossed above the high of the main middle candle. So this is a double outside pivot, or outside pivot we can call in simple terms. So this pivot and this pivot both are considered as pivots only, but we can call them different names like outside pivot and perfect pivot. See, even this case, in this case, there is an outside pivot which has formed. See, this third candle is inside the main middle candle. So this is the first candle, this is the second candle, main middle candle, third candle is inside the second main middle candle, and now we can consider the fourth candle as the third candle. So this is also an outside pivot, right? So I hope you understand the point. We should not see or feel like a pivot is not formed in this case. This is also a pivot, but these are outside pivots. Okay, this is a perfect pivot. How do we understand this? The high of the main middle candle is well above the high of the first and the third candle. So this is a perfect pivot count. I hope you understand how to analyze pivots now. Okay, we will slowly move to analyzing multiple time frames now, and with that we will be able to do daily analysis of charts and take trades with this. Okay, goodbye for now.